Steam is one of the biggest places on the internet to find and buy video games. Originally for games only created by Valve in 2003, the site would slowly grow. Then, it started to provide third-party support in 2005, and the rest, you could say, is history. Steam has become, like I said, one of the biggest gaming distribution platforms of video games all over the world. Games as far as the eye can see, full of happy gamers when there is a Steam sale ready to happen. Reviews about games that they love, or they give bad reviews because they don't read the requirements for their PC. There are so many games that many people love and enjoy, unless you're a Blizzard fan. However, there are some games that slip through the cracks and are just mid, nothing special. Games no one knows or even cares about at all, that might as well be thrown into the trash. Games that are unknown shovelware, or for a cheap price that might be good or just downright bad. But let me tell you a little story about something we can all relate to, and all of us can understand very, very well. Being bored while having a full Steam library, but you have nothing else to do, so you're just bored. You're bored one day. You have played all of the games you have ever played in your Steam library. You have nothing to do, but you still have cash in your account. You look around, nothing catches your eye, so you keep looking until you see a game called Grimoire, Heralds of the Winged Exemplar. You look at it, the results are mixed, and the game itself looks nothing special, just your standard retro-style video game. So you look at the reviews to find anything interesting about the game, and you, my friend, have just found yourself into one of the strangest and also bizarre tales online, and also one of the strangest things that's ever happened in the video game industry. But looking through those reviews, you will know the story of a man who many thought was a liar and some would call completely and utterly insane. However, in the end, he would prove all of them wrong, and he would have the last laugh. This is the bizarre tale of Cleveland Blakemore. This is Cleve Blakemore, or some have called him Cleve. He is a notorious Australian programmer, game designer, and, in his own words, a living fossil. Also, some have considered him one of the oldest shitposters on the internet, but also the strangest individuals in the prehistoric days of the gaming industry, when times were more simple, and games were more than just battle passes, microtransactions.
How much is 1,500?
And being rushed to meet a deadline.
What?
Okay, the last part always happened, but you get the point. But back to Cleve. The information that I have found is all over the place. However, I will try my best to give you a comprehensive way to understand on what happened. But let me give you a little background on Cleveland as a person, but also show you the interesting things he believes in. Looking at old blogs that he used to have, but sadly are deleted, he is very, very into conspiracy theories. Like the world ending, and most of it being about him having preparations for doomsday. He is so gung-ho about it, he has made an actual fallout bunker to protect himself from disaster. However, again, this blog is sadly lost, but for people who did see it, they have made documentations of what was on there. And this is where we get to see what Cleveland believes in. One of them, strangely enough, is his hatred for Albert Einstein, claiming that he was a fraud, a plagiarist, and a womanizer. I don't know what Albert Einstein did to make this guy hate him so much. I don't know. But other things on his blog also says that he believes in that television is going to destroy the West. Oh no, here we go again. Starting with the women. Once the women have been corrupted, they will go for the men next. Oh no. All men who will enter into a deluded life of hopeless despair. That's what the wiki says. I don't know if he actually said that. But one thing that became a mainstay about Cleve is humanity's ancient ancestors and relatives, the Neanderthals. He is very proud of his Neanderthal heritage, even though he does not believe in evolution. Oh, before you ask, he does not believe in creationism either, calling them both bunk. This obsession with the Neanderthals has him claiming that they built a true civilization. And why did they build a true civilization? Because they're autistic. And this knowledge of this happening is somehow being suppressed for some reason. Why? I don't know, I'm not the guy, I don't know what's going on in his head. But he also does claim that the Neanderthals had crossbred with Homo sapiens, which in result caused humanity to have an increased creativity and intelligence. But here's the thing, that part is proven to be true.
But that's true. That's like 100%, everything you said was true.
I don't know about the creativity part though. However, this shows that Cleveland is not dumb. He understands the topic, he just sees an idea and he runs with it. And oh boy, does he run with it. Just like our ancestors running from ancient beasts thousands of years ago. He knows what he's talking about, but he also believes that if action's not taken to destroy America, heaven itself is required to issue an apology to Saddam, and a possible lawsuit will happen. Again, from the wiki, I don't know. If this is true, though, I would watch it. I would definitely watch it. Okay, so after all of this, we can talk about Cleveland's magnum opus, his gift to the starving gamer who just wants to play an actual game. The development of that said game is just as interesting as the person making it. This is the part where we can finally talk about what Cleveland is mostly known for, his very own game called Grimoire, Herald of the Winged Exemplar. The development of the game started after Cleve previously worked with Sir-Teck, a Canadian video game company that is best known for older games such as the Wizardry series and Jagged Alliance 1 and 2. That part will be very important later, trust me. Cleveland would be hired as a consultant for DirectSoft due to the lack of progress on the game Wizardry 8 Stones of Arhem. Also, yes, young little Timmy, games used to have a lot of sequels back then. Cleve would start development of Grimoire right after he left DirectSoft and Sir-Teck. The reason as to why he left was due to Cleveland being upset with Sir-Tech's own failure to create a safe working environment. He would have an announcement for the game in 1997, and then having a 1998 beta test for it. Then Cleve said that it would release the exact same year of 1998, except it didn't. Now I know some of you out there might be asking, but the game is on Steam right now as we speak. It's probably just a re-release. But if you look at the date again, I will tell you right now, the game finally released in 2017, meaning Cleveland has been working on this game for 20 years. Also, he made the whole game by himself, by the way, with a little bit of help, of course. He did get some help, yes, but all of this is made by him. But before we get any further, let me show you how the game was made. Cleve would start an Indiegogo campaign for his game in 2013. This failed. $250,000 for a game that looks like this? I expect this game to cure my gaming addiction and get me a girlfriend right now when I sit down and play it. But Cleve would still give updates, but he would also give updates on another site. That site being YouTube. It just shows the game in different states. However, one video, we will finally get an update on the game itself. Now, we can finally hear the voice behind the madness.
This is the first update for Heralds of the Winged Exemplar, the ultimate classic retro old school fantasy role-playing game. Begin transmission!
And this video is an update to the game for his Indiegogo campaign, of course. However, he just starts talking about the most random shit I have ever seen.
The inside of a carnival tilt-a-whirl supervised by a chimpanzee. There is also a downside. Where are these translating?
I have no idea what's happening. Cleve, turn down the music. Cleveland, turn down the music. You know, I forget it. Then he starts talking about more stuff like problems in the world, like godless communism, hoof-mouth disease, Farmville microtransactions, condemnment conservation at McDonald's, and godless communism. Oh gee, I wonder why no one donated to the campaign for the game. It is so weird. I know it's all a joke, but show me the gameplay first, please. But then, Cleve finally talks about the game.
What do you think? Looks pretty good.
Wow, it looks great.
100% yet.
I love how epic
Way
he
better
makes
than it
these
ever has been.
videos with the music, but then you actually look at the game and it looks like this. But we already know what happens. The game finally would be released in 2017, but what is the game really like while playing? Well, I just got the game. I want to see how good it is, and hey, it can't be that bad or anything. Oh no, battle, 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 no, what I do, okay, hack it, thrust, come on, stab, come on, stab it, come on, what did you do to my computer? What did you do to my computer? Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This feels like a scam. Is he lying? Surprisingly, no. However, Cleve will be known as a liar while Grimoire was in development, him wanting to be the game that kills Wizardry 8. However, that would never happen due to all the delays, but also received a lot of bad publicity along with Cleveland's edgy comments, due to people criticizing him. It did not take very long for people seeing Cleveland's magnum opus, Grimoire, as more of a scam instead, and seeing Cleveland as more of a liar. There is one thing about Cleveland that is very important in this story, and also Grimoire's development. Cleveland being known for making very outlandish and pretty unbelievable claims. Some of them is him working at DirectSoft for Sir-Teck for Wizardry 8. All of Cleveland's claims are on the RPG Codex forums. Some of them are lost or locked off onto the site, but some people on the RPG Codex would repost of what Cleveland had said on there, and they're very, very strange. This all started on a post that wondered what happened to Sir-Teck and why did they go bankrupt. Fans wanted to know, and Cleveland would make some very, very bold claims. Some of these claims he describes are very out there, and it sounds like something a madman who's been online too much would probably say. Like some of the monsters and creatures created for the game. Some are based on Aboriginal mythology because DirectSoft is a company based in Australia, just like Cleve. But Cleveland would make claims that there was other monsters or creatures that he gave the name the Penisaur or the Rectum Gobbler. Man, I really hope I don't have to see that image or anything at all, just like you don't have to see that image at all during this video. Okay, you want to be on your edge of seat on this one. I'm just making a quote. This is what it was shown. The next thing he claimed is that there were, in his own words, transsexual furries who were murdered by themselves or looking to murder someone else. Okay, now I'm just lost. I'm completely lost. The next thing that he would claim would be the working conditions at DirectSoft. Him saying that the team meetings held at an apartment. When you needed to use the restroom, you had to crawl through waist-deep piles of vibrators, toys, and bondage gear. I Allegedly. Not to mention, the beta testing team for Wizardry 8 was assembled by underage homeless teenage runaways. All of them were recruited by Matt Phillips. Allegedly. He would recruit these kids from a railway station, and his intentions was for them to be testers by day, favors by night. Allegedly. That is what it says. Again, it's a random user. I don't know if this is true. Then the last claim is for the game. This claim was about a magical diamond. This diamond was hidden, like every other magical item ever in video games. Instead, it was inside an NPC's anus. You gotta be fucking kidding me. And how you get out, oh boy, with this thing called an enhanced butt bandit on a stick. They called it Bitchy the Hedgehog, by the way. I hope this is not true. Please tell me it's not true. Now here's the problem. There was no reference to Wizardry 8 Stones of Arnhem at any point when Cleve was saying this. The only place was this form from Cleve's own word of mouth. Some people found it very hard to believe or even trust him on anything, and these claims didn't make it even better. Also, in addition to this, Cleveland's online persona is known for being very, very edgy, and him saying stuff that I really can't show because I don't want to get in trouble. But while this was happening, he would confront a user claiming that they are one of the people who worked on Wizardry 8, claiming that he had a hunch. Okay, Cleve has officially lost his rocker right now. Okay, to keep in mind though, all the insane stuff that he has said is not to be taken seriously. However, he definitely does not like other races or the gays. But let's be honest here. He has said stuff that is true, like the Neanderthal stuff, but then twisted and turned it into something completely outrageous. One example that I have found is him claiming that he fought all minorities with a jawbone of an ass during the LA riots. Okay, let me get this straight. So this random Australian programmer went to LA during the riots, pulled up a Samson move from the Bible by having a jawbone of an ass, and fought all minorities there. This is a good example as to why a lot of people did not believe him, and also shows that he really likes to tell stories. The man has been trolling and has been annoying countless numbers of people before I, or possibly even you, were even born. But what truly happened during the early development of Wizardry 8, and why things behind the scenes might be a tad bit more complicated. Now, I already talked a little bit about Wizardry 8's early development. All of this I found is on the wiki about the game. I will try to show you some of it, but I will not want to get off topic. While in development, the chief designer of the other Wizardry games, David Bradley, was not involved for Wizardry 8. After David left Sir-Teck, he would move the development of Wizardry 8 Stones of Arnhem to DirectSoft in Australia. I know I put a little detail there, but most of you already know that, so we could probably skip that. But this would be notable because Cleveland would be working on this team with DirectSoft. But we already know what happened. Cleveland left, everything fell through, leading to the closure and the end of DirectSoft. Thus, the project would be shelved and then later relaunched under Sir-Teck. Then, 8 years later, Wizardry 8 was finally released to the world. And that's kind of ironic, it took 8 years and it's like the 8th installment of the game. Well, I hope everything went really well for them. Yeah, they didn't last long after that. Sir-Teck would close its doors in 2003, but before that happened, Sir-Teck continued to help the game with patches and updates for years after its release. Very sad to see people lose their jobs. At least they cared about making the game as good as possible, unlike some things in the modern day. However, is the game even good at all?
Sure. I'm itching to do something wild and reckless anyway.
As you can see here, there are major differences between Cleve's claims, and they don't seem to be that bad. Sure, some of it seems to be true, like Cleve joining DirectSoft, or Sir-Teck having DirectSoft being used to help make Wizardry 8. All that seems to be true, But again, this is Cleve we're dealing with here. A man who believes that Neanderthals were part of a true civilization because they're autistic. A man who believes that he used a jawbone of a donkey during the LA riots. The man has lost his mind. He's a nut. However, Sir-Teck's response to Cleveland's claims at DirectSoft is very interesting. Their response was this.
Whoa! You one of those inspector guys? Let me tell you right off the bat that I run the most technologically advanced mine in all of Aruko. Built it from the ground up with stolen American technology. But it's all...
The devs put him in the game Jagged Alliance 2. Some call this one the best squad-based strategy game RPG that ever existed. Those people are all dead, by the way. Also, yes, if you look at it, the character's name is very similar to Cleveland's.
You obviously don't know who you're talking to. Calvin Blakemore. I will devote all my waking hours toward making your life a living hell if you continue to talk to me this way.
Well, they seem to get some of Cleveland's over-the-top stories right, but this does seem kind of a bit mean. Also, according to some comments during that time when Cleveland worked at DirectSoft, he had some interesting comments about them. Cleve and Sir-Teck don't seem to like each other very much at all. Cleve blames Sir-Teck for the game's failure, and Sir-Teck just calls Cleveland a crazy, disgruntled employee. Nothing but a raving lunatic trying to make a game that will never come out. Penisaurs, the rectum gobbler, and trans furries? Get out of here. None of this is true. Or is it? Now, I've gotten some conflicting reports while doing some research on this part. However, I think I have put 2 and 2 together, so I can tell you the complete version of events. The year is 2012. There will be an auction for an abandoned storage unit. However, this storage unit is a very special one. This particular abandoned unit was one owned by Sir-Teck. Then a user on eBay with the name of Hotelibia would say that they have some stuff from the old Sir-Teck storage unit. They claim that the unit had all the company's documentations, artworks of their games, and sealed games that have never been opened before, alongside with common workplace items, signed artwork, and design documents, but also including a letter about canceling the original Wizardry 8. Then, would make an auction, and many people wanted it. Even the RPG Codex forums wanted to get it, but the auction was taken down for unknown reasons. Well, that's not weird or suspicious at all. No, not at all. Again, sadly, the eBay account no longer exists, but thankfully, some people have saved some of the pictures, and now we can see what was being auctioned off. Now that things are starting to come to light, we can now see things from behind the scenes, like what truly happened at that point in time, and how mysteriously bizarre it all is. I like looking at behind the scenes stuff. Now let's get a good look at these design documents here. Let's see. Wait, what am I looking at? No, that's not real. That can't be right. Wait, what am I looking at? What's that? No, not to me. That's not real, right? What? That's a murderous furry. That's 100% a murderous furry. That can't be right? Look at it. That's a murderous furry. Look at that. It's just a murderous furry. Looking at me. You don't think that Cleve would be right? There's a penis sword, dude. Look. Oh, this can't be real. This sit down. Other me. We need to take this to the grave. This changes everything. This changes literally everything. I can't tell anybody. Oh, I actually puke. Get back a little bit. Puke. I'm gonna throw up. Cleve was right. I know. Yes, the rectum gobbler is real. Now, when all of this was revealed to many of Cleveland's detractors, everyone was in shock. The crazy programmer Neanderthal was right about almost everything. Again, almost. Of course, this doesn't mean everything Cleve says and has claimed are true, however. The documents of him leaving the company and Sir-Teck wanting him to be on board don't lie. Also the weird pictures as well. But this evidence also shows that Wizardry 8 Stones of Arum actually existed. Also, this might imply some things that Cleve has made to, allegedly, be true. And well, maybe it's best that we don't talk about that, due to it being a claim and there's still no evidence of it. But there would be an interview with Robert Sir-Teck, one of the founders of Sir-Teck, about the game and about Cleveland himself. Maybe this will clear things up, and maybe all of this is just some crazy old-fashioned trolling.
Well, that's why we wanted to explore this as a possible way of coming up with something unique. So we hired all the guys. We spent a fortune down there, a lot of money trying to get this thing produced. At the end of the day, we were losing our patience because there was a whole lot of graphical work, but no software algorithms and systems architecture for the game itself. So we were very close to closing this whole thing down, and just this was the only video game that we ever canceled in the history of our company. Sad but true. Everybody has them. So we were so close to killing it when our man in charge down there came forward and said, I think I found a crackerjack coder. Why don't we give him a chance so that we don't close this thing down and lose a fortune in this debauchery? And we said, okay, why not? But it was under the pretense that this guy accept this assignment, that we're very close to our patience wearing out and we're close to killing this thing, and if he hadn't stepped forward, we would have killed it.
Notice that he does not disprove anything that Cleve has ever said about the game. In fact, it is one-to-one aligned to what Cleve has said. Sir-Teck letting another company to produce the game, then things not going as planned, and then they hired Cleve to save the day. This interview did one thing and one thing only, that Cleve Blakemore was proven right all along. Now we could get to where are they now part of the section of the video. What happened to the people involved in this trans furry rectum gobbler madness? Surprisingly, not much at all. One of the founders of Sir-Teck, Robert Sir-Teck, has not posted on Twitter or anything I could find. But the only thing I could find was him trying to edit the wrong wiki. He's getting old. Meanwhile, the founder of DirectSoft, Matt Phillips, he's dead. Oh hey, he was in Mad Max 2. Wow, that's very random. But you might be asking, what's Cleve been up to after he's been surrounded by all this strange madness of gaming? Well, after a long legal battle for the name Grimoire, the game was finally released, as you already know, except for the legal stuff. But he's been a very busy bee, making different types of games. It looks like Cleve is doing what he wanted, and not just that, proving his critics wrong. All of his crazy ramblings and outlandish stories, in the end, Cleveland Blakemore is a complicated character. Well, that's saying something. A guy who went through the weirdest, insane, and possibly illegal acts, allegedly, in the gaming industry, has proved everyone wrong after he was thrown into the mud and was proven to be telling the truth. And you know what they say, the truth will set you free. But we don't care about all that. What is the true lesson we can learn from this? Well, I think Warlockracy, who was observing the whole thing from afar for years, said it best about Cleveland.
Is to never fuck with Cleve.
Thank you for giving me your time. Please like and subscribe, and be careful out there. Oh yeah, there was a company that was also being advertised in the game Wizardry 8. And, fun little fact, they're still around, so you could still technically get a new PC out of this. Truly, this is the longest advertisement I've ever seen in a game.
Yeah, slice 'em, dice 'em, no sense being nice to 'em. That's my motto.